This is High on Life 2. We're here on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and the game is indeed PlayStation 5 Pro Enhanced. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So yeah, High on Life has returned. It's got the humor, it's got the style, it's got the guns, it's got the ridiculousness, and you know what? It really actually does work as a sequel. I was quite surprised. Firstly, I enjoyed the first one. I mean, I do think the humor has to be very specifically tailored towards like what you find funny. But I will say, I think they've done a very good job of hitting the humor mark a little bit better this time around, at least for me. Well, at the same time, I do kind of feel like our new gun doesn't quite hit the spot compared to the previous one, but still has some fun little bits here or there. So yeah, obviously they needed to make some adjustments due to issues in regards to your gun. So that's a big thing, is if you played the first game, obviously a huge part of that experience was the gun you were using. The game even references that. So it is a bit of a, I guess, change up, kind of not having that particular gun talking to you. But we got a new one, and you know, actually I find it a little less annoying, but at the same time a little less kind of funny, the gun, in that regard. But like, other elements of the game are quite humorous. There is this amazing montage thing that the game opens up with to kind of catch you up to like what's been happening, and then you go on this silly selection of stories and quests and journeys in order to do stuff. This is your main hub world. It's changed a lot. There's all this like crazy stuff going on, and yes, there's like actual movie things you can like go and take in at the theater and stuff. And yeah, this game's got quite a it's got like quite a vibe to it. They've just taken everything from the first game and they've kind of like amped it up a bit, if that makes sense. And they just yeah, they're definitely, they are having some fun with this game. They are doing, like, we're stealing a catalytic converter right now, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so generally what the gist of this one is that you're, you know, the best bounty hunter, everybody loves you, and then things with your sister kind of go wrong. So Lizzie is a little bit more of a big deal this time around. She's essentially become this sort of, like, I guess you would call it like an environmental terrorist. But there's a bigger plot going on, and you need to kind of assist her with that, and it's kind of funny having to deal with that, as it's like, okay, now you gotta go save her, and then, you know, the people that you used to bounty hunt with are now like people that are trying to kill you because there's this big, deep plot going on, all these twists and turns. So you're kind of fighting against the bounty hunters that you were fighting with, and it's a huge plot of you trying to save humanity again. And yeah, they've definitely, they've got the vibe down, they got like the style down, and the story is really, really quite interesting. And of course, there's like a bazillion weird side things you can do, and little, you know, side activities and weird little funny things you can have happen, and quirks, and you basically join this group here. And oh yeah, there's also a bit of a, what did they describe it as? Oh yeah, there's a bit of a Halo vibe going on. Yeah, this one, the humor seems a lot more marketed, like almost specifically more towards like my age, which is kind of funny, at least I think. I don't know, there's some good little bits in here which I was kind of having like a little bit of a laugh with, just in regards to some of like the narrative elements and some of the little references and the jokes, and I was like, oh, okay. And then you've probably seen, but we got this sweet skateboard. At first, I thought the skateboard idea was going to be kind of dumb and silly, but no, it's actually pretty spectacular. It allows you to flow through these much more open environments a lot better than you ever could in the past. So anyways, from a... Did we not... Is security still alive? Was he part of security? I just, like... I thought I killed everybody for security. Maybe there's another security guy I'm just kind of missing. So anyways, yeah, so as you can tell, they've gone with our favorite engine here, so everything is... it's hard to describe. So they are... They are going to be, I guess you would say, doing like an update for performance, because I think you might have already noticed that the performance in this is not as good as it really could or should be. Oh, the RV's right here. I totally missed that. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind that like they are going to be doing like a performance. That's supposed to be something they're working on. But yeah, they've moved to our favorite engine, obviously, and it's really quite noticeable because a lot of the game is kind of like a little bit like got that temporal blur and fuzz going on it. But the picture is better, the level of detail's better, the realism is improved, the characters look great, but there is that, you know, evident kind of thing where it's like the console's a little struggling some of the visual elements of it and some of the performance. So this one is a temporal 4K at the lower internal resolution. It's 60 FPS targeting. There is some additional options, and I kind of wanted to wait till we get to like a little bit of a freeze place in order to show that kind of off here. I really like that your sister's got more of a play in this game. I really liked her character in the first one, and actually that was one of my comments, was I felt like she wasn't utilized enough, so it's kind of cool that they're using that a little bit more, using her a little bit more in this game, so definitely appreciating that. Was I supposed to land on one of these things? Oh, hello there. Isn't this just wild? Here for MurderCon. It's so ridiculous, and you got your guns. We'll show you the technical stuff like in a sec here. We're just kind of surviving. But the key point is like temporal 4K and then, yeah, 60 FPS. Cool, so we're here on the ground.
You just drop in? Welcome to Parking Con. It's every man for himself down here.
Parking Con. So anyways, it's kind of like, look at the fuzz. What was that? Okay, we're just gonna pause and get through this so that we can actually like look at this. So settings wise, there's a streamer mode which I've got enabled. There's a bunch of different difficulties. There's a bunch of audio options in case you have issues with the gun chatter. You can adjust how often that's being used. And then, I didn't mean to back out there. Video. So we've got two options here. So there's temporal. So this is sort of the baked in engine technology, TSR. So this one, it's really choice. Like we've got pisser and we've got TSR. We've got an FOV, motion blur, chromatic aberration, render scaling. So yeah, we're just gonna turn on pisser so you can kind of see how that impacts the visual fidelity of the game. Now, when I was kind of like playing around with it, because there was a couple environments which are sort of like, I guess you would call them like little rooms, like little places we were in. I was trying to be like, okay, so this is an area where the temporal resolution, like the fuzz is kind of going off. And I was like, what looks better? And the two of them look very similar in terms of like, you know, like the level of like fuzz and stuff. So it's, yeah, I think it's gonna really come down to personal preference. I don't think your average person will actually notice any difference between the two of them, quite honestly. I could be wrong, you know, some people just seem to really dislike pisser. I think it's fine. TSR is good in a lot of games, and it's the solution we're seeing a lot because obviously it's baked into the engine. But yeah, no, I think, you know, like honestly, if you're coming in and playing this, I don't think that doing pisser is a bad option. I don't think TSR is a bad option, and it's, I think, mostly going to come down to like visual preference. It's cool that games are allowing you to sort of choose between the two of them, if that makes sense. As far as like options, that's kind of neat. But I'm like, when you're sort of comparing the two of them, it's kind of really hard to like, you know, really show you like, hey, this is like what exactly you're getting here as far as like this being a benefit or a negative, just because it is so kind of similar as far as like the smaller little finite edges. It really comes down to your kind of personal preference, and I think TSR is not by default, so it's like, you know, it's really kind of how you want to go about it. And then there's your render scaling option, which is also kind of neat that that is there. Now, that is an option that you can adjust. So, yeah. Those are kind of your main visual settings. Usually 75 by default. We're just going to put it at 100 a little bit so you can see a little bit of how that impacts things. And then there's accessibility options. You know, subtitles disabled, enabled, aim assist options. I hate that. I keep thinking as you press the back button to go back to it, but yeah. And then there's input settings, sensitivity, vibration features, cycling weapons, and then various controls options as well. So like it's pretty, you know, straightforward as far as like I guess you would say settings and adjustments, and yeah. It's kind of neat, and I am hoping that the performance kind of gets cleaned up for the full release, because again, I'm like, you know, I'm checking this out ahead. So optimistically, from what I've kind of like been given reading material-wise, is you should have a slightly, like you should have an improved performance experience when you are coming in and playing this game at launch, and it's where they wanted us to be able to get hands-on to actually like talk about the game and go over it and showcase it. But yeah, no, it's quite a bit of, like, I'm having quite a bit of fun with it. I enjoyed High on Life, and I definitely, I sort of, find another party spot. Huh. I quite enjoyed it. I found it funny. I was definitely sitting there being like, spot stolen? You gotta be kidding me. I think I'm, am I off the map? Find another parking spot. I am off the level. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm yeah, that's, I wonder if, I think this might be in the bug list. Yeah. So, anyways, but that actually might be in the bug list. There's like a list of like little areas you can get stuck that they were kind of mentioning in their list too. To watch out for. Not a big deal though, right? Not a big deal. So we just get to come back to this and yeah, kind of showcase things and continue playing. Anyways, yeah, no, I've been having some fun with this one. I quite enjoyed High on Life, but even back then when it first released, it definitely had like performance issues, for sure, when that one came out. So to me, this is just sort of like, you know, kind of business as usual, that this is the status of this game. I was like, oh, yeah, not shocked at all. Which is kind of hilarious. But you play this more for, like, the comedy of it. The funny, like, how funny it is. And I think the humor, to me, is a lot, like, improved over the first game. Like, I kind of find it a lot more humorous, and the way they've done the humor, it seems to be a little bit better for me. But it really, like, humor in general is a very personal kind of thing, right? It's like, you know, what are you into? What do you find funny? And so that's where I kind of found the first one was very Rick and Morty-esque humor, but I think this one is a little toned down in some of the elements of it, where it doesn't feel as silly, or maybe I'm just more accustomed to this universe at this point. But I genuinely, I do find the humor to be a bit better in this one, at least for me. I'm like, I found the first pretty funny, but I find this one to be, like, a lot of the spots I'm like, oh, this is really good. They got some, like, really good little references, little nods and stuff, and yeah, it really comes down to a lot of whether or not the beats hit for you, but I think they've got a good combination of gameplay that's kind of fun. You know, the movement system improved with, or at least I think improved, with the skateboard and how you go around the environment, all the different enemies you have to shoot, and all the different combat stuff, and the whole new concept of you now being bounty hunted, and your sister kind of taking like a larger role in this one. Got like a cape and everything going on. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I am definitely enjoying the vibe on this one, and I'm finding it to be quite enjoyable and fun. And yeah, it's just kind of like sort of hitting the mark for me in a lot of ways that I was kind of hoping that it would, you know, sort of improve upon, if that makes sense. I was just kind of like, okay, this is what I was best hoping for, and then gameplay-wise, I'm coming in and playing it and being like, okay, cool. And as I said, I really wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about the whole like skateboarding bit and stuff, because I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, like it's neat, but it's kind of weird. It's like a skateboard. It's like, how does that really, how does that really function in the game? And then when you get out here, you're just kind of flowing through the environments like this, and it's kind of almost, I don't know, would I call it almost Doom-like? A little bit like Doom Eternal, like modern Doom, where I'm kind of like, you feel as though you flow through the environments doing ridiculous things. Oh, I just missed that. That sucks. That's on me for messing up there. But yeah, no, I really do genuinely think they've got some like good stuff going on in this one, and it seems like design-wise and that it's really kind of hitting off for like what the first game kind of did, and evolving upon those gameplay mechanics in some exciting ways. I think people that come in and play this are going to be quite happy, especially if you like the first, or maybe if you kind of didn't like some things of the first one. I think the adjustments are sort of interesting enough that they might change your mind on things. Like, it's just sort of a fun, wacky, easygoing kind of shooter game that's got some ridiculous bits and crazy references. And it really is one of those games where, like, the more you actually sit there and kind of take things in and do stuff, the more fun it is. I really do quite like that, because it also gives you some choices too, and you get to kind of pick how crazy you are as a person. You can just... So for instance, there's this sort of exhibit thing off the bat where you can kind of... where it's like, it's my last day on the job. Like, hear the dude out and just kind of blast him. And it's just like, it's all that kind of funny, ridiculous kind of thing where I find that quite funny. Some of the stuff where it's just like, you get the choice to be a maniac. I always thought that was funny too, and the first one was just kind of being like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna totally elect to ignore everything and do whatever I want, and...
Try again, and be careful! Don't let go of it that early again, or we'll be in trouble! No! I said push the up button, not the down button! Oh shit! Oh my god! There were maintenance workers at the bottom of the shaft! You killed them all! That's my fault! You ruined me! Nobody will ever hire me again!
That's what I was saying, is like, it's just kind of, the way you can go about things is kind of funny, and it's not necessarily something exactly you're going to be kind of doing, but you get a bit of choice, you get a bit of direction, you can make adjustments in the world to a degree on how you want, and I think it's just kind of like, I don't know, I genuinely find like a lot of this to be quite entertaining and funny, and there's so many like little things that you can go and do in this one that I think why is this thing so like disgusting looking? I think you'll really find this one to be just like chock full of like stupid references and fun little bits. And can I actually get this up here? Let me think about this. I think we're gonna have to use you to yeah, we're gonna have to use you to get this guy up here. Why can't I jump up on top of you? It's supposed to... One sec here. Is it because I've got this stupid thing?
After that, their cell memory allows them to regenerate in a previous location. Isn't that
No, I want
convenient video game thing. That's how they work.
There we go. That's what I want to do. Sometimes you gotta be a little, freedom on things. But yeah, they've got all the bits of the first one that you loved, and they've just amped it up a bit, and it's just as zany, just as ridiculous, and just as over the top with a new cast. Well, familiar cast of weapon stuff, but some new things too. And are you just gonna... There we go. We'll just respawn you. That's okay. So anyways, High on Life 2... Yeah, seems to be a pretty fun thing, I think, that will hit well for people, and I hope the performance gets a little smoothed out, but other than that, there's lots of little weird things to do, things to see, crazy chaos to have happen, and the skateboard absolutely does work in this, and I am shockingly surprised by it.